Hello and welcome to another gear review with me and J&AM Guitar. Today we are looking at the UnderFluked FuZR Fuzz Pedal. So, UnderFluked, you've never heard of him before, unless you follow me on Instagram, or him, you might have heard of him. Obviously if you follow him on Instagram, you've probably... Anywho. This is the FuZR pedal, one of his two sort of entries into the market, along with the JSA partnered Troublemaker, Little Troublemaker. And what it is a rather neat silicone fuzz pedal. Don't hold it against it that it's a silicone fuzz pedal. The way it's been built, it's got sort of dual silicon transistor setup that actually makes it sound and act very similar to a Germanium fuzz. It responds, as you'll see, really well to different pickups, different volumes off the guitar, and is an all-round really great sounding pedal, as you're about to see. It has, as you'd imagine, it has a level and it has a fuzz, but it also has a bias, which can reduce your sort of 9 volts input to about 4.5 volts, which basically starves the transistors and starts to give you that velcro-y into gated fuzz. It's a whole lot of fun. I'm going to demo it with both the Telecaster on single coils and my Jackson with humbuckers. Before I go any further, obviously, if you can subscribe now, that'll be fantastic. Start the new year as I mean to go on and try and grow the channel as much as possible. Let's hear what this sounds like now. Okay, so we're all set up. I'm using the Maybury T-Type with Tone Rider Hot Classics, going into the FuZR, into a Boss amp on a clean channel. And we're going to switch the FuZR on with everything at 12. You're going to hear a volume dip. So we'll bring that up. Just bring the fuzz up a bit. So that's fuzz and volume at full. Now I'm going to play the bias control so you can hear what that does. I'm going to roll the bias all the way to that side. And you can start to hear it getting a bit velcro-y now. Now you're into that gated kind of fuzz. Now, one of the really cool things about this fuzz is it's designed to respond a bit like a Germanium fuzz, where rolling the volume off on the guitar really affects the overall tone, or the overall fuzz. So we're at full fuzz. I've got the bias on about 1 o'clock, which is kind of where I find the sweet spot. Any more than that, if you're heading sort of in that direction with it, it becomes just a very smooth fuzz. Too far this way. get the kind of stuttery fuzz. So about 1 o'clock works really nicely. If I start to roll the guitar volume off, on the neck pickup as well, so it's a bit cleaner. We roll the fuzz off as well, so. There's a lot of different kind of sounds from there, but as you noticed on the single coil on this particular guitar, anything beyond kind of 3 o'clock is straight into fuzz. Below that is quite clean. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put my Jackson onto it so that you can hear what it sounds like with humbuckers and give it a bit of a kick. Ollie, could you go and get my red guitar from downstairs, please? My Patreon's going to get some great outtakes from that one. Right, now then, so my daughter is now behind the camera making little hearts, and it's lovely. Right, now, so we are going to play through the humbuckers this time. We're on the bridge, which is a Seymour Duncan, custom, or Alnico 2, or I don't know. This is the clean. And this is fuzz with everything at 12. Turn the bass off a bit. Let's roll this fuzz boy up. Yeah, let's play with the bias a bit. So I'm going to roll the bias all the way that away. Starting to get that sputtery kind of gated fuzz. Just hear it fighting for a bit of signal, which I really enjoy. As you've seen the Hubcap John Bleeding Heart video, you'll know I love that kind of velcro-y, where it's just fighting for breath. Right, so I'm going to put it into my sweet spot, which I still think is around about 1 o'clock. And we're going to try the volume control, see what it does. So on the neck pickup, which is a jazz pickup, which is a very, very clean humbucker, it actually becomes a really clean kind of, not boost even, just the colour. Turn it off. And just have fun. If we turn the fuzz all the way off just for a second, or most of the way off for a second. You can see it kind of, it flattens out the mids a bit. Bring the fuzz up, rather than getting it really fuzzy, you just start bringing in more mids. Making it almost a dirty boost. Then obviously straight into fuzz. An awful lot of fun to be had with this pedal. So that is the UnderFluked FuZR. Gone through single coil pickups on the Maybury Telecaster, humbuckers on here, and as you can hear, it is a really versatile fuzz with a whole range of options to it. Adding that bias control allows you to get some really unique sounds that a standard maybe one knob or a fuzz face on its own won't give you. The fact that it's silicone rather than germanium, now this is a big argument that we have in the guitar industry or guitar world. You know, germanium versus silicone, they both have their place. As I said before, the way this one's been designed is to emulate germanium without some of the downfalls of germanium, which is when you get inclement weather, hot or cold, it can stop working properly. Germanium transistors can be a little bit picky about the voltage they have. Even country to country, you know, different voltages can affect the way it sounds. Whereas a silicon transistor pretty much will sound the same all the time. But because of the way that UnderFluked built this with the two transistor system, it just seems to have the ability to clean up like a germanium fuzz, a bit more clarity than germanium fuzz has maybe as well because it's silicon. And just it's a really nice alternative. It's not a replacement, it's just an alternative for a germanium. The bias control, like I said, I really enjoy playing around with that because it lets me go from really smooth, almost overdrive, all the way into that crazy choked, gated fuzz that can be really fun. Even if it's not that much use in a band, it is really fun when you're composing because it makes you play differently. And if you record it right with the right kind of setup and EQ, it can really stand out in a mix. So all in all, fantastic pedal, great entry into the market. This is, you know, as I said, it's UnderFluked's first pedal going into the market. He's got two at the moment. The second one is the little treble maker, which has been made in association with JSA Effects, who you've seen me play his pedals many times. Yeah, great entrance into the market. So let me know what you think. I've been playing with a lot of fuzzes recently. You've probably noticed that. This is now going onto one of my two boards, probably my mini board, because that's missing a fuzz, and this is a lot smaller than the Rusty Fuzz, and gives me a bit more flexibility where I don't have as many effects available to me. I'll definitely gig this as soon as I possibly can because it's so much fun to play. So let me know in the comments what you think. Again, as I've asked before, what fuzzes are you using? Are you a fuzz face kind of person? Are you a big muff, or are you, germanium versus silicone? All these sorts of questions. Get into the comments and just chat to me. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I will see you soon.